topic is, should cannabis be legalized in Sweden?
Me and my debate team believe that cannabis should be legalized in Sweden because of the active dose THC. The THC is very similar to the neurotransmitters in the brain, which influences pain, depression, and appetite. Therefore, the person who smokes cannabis decreases any type of pain in the body, subsides depression, and increases their appetite. Evidence show that cancer patients who smoke cannabis feel much better because of earlier stated decreased pain, subside depression, subsided depression, and increased appetite. Thank you.
I'd like to open my starting argument by pointing out that the government has a vested interest in the well-being of its citizens. And that means occasionally restricting some of its freedom by, for example, illegalizing marijuana. Me and my debate team will attempt to show in our arguments that banning of marijuana is a limit to our rights, and it will not always be respected, and it will not always be like accepted from the people and the society, but it can damage, and it can damage lives, it can damage a person, and it has a bad impact on people.
According to World Health Organization, writes that tobacco kills nearly 6 million people, and the harmful alcohol drinking is killing 2.5 millions of people. I don't know. You said that cannabis is damage to the human body. So 7.5 millions of people are dying because of tobacco and alcohol, and you're saying that these two are not.
But I think you're making a really bad mistake there, because why is alcohol and tobacco legalized in Sweden if they're damaging, according to Frihetsfronten.se
and Folkhälsoinstitutet?
Yes. Alcohol and tobacco is making more damage to the body, and it's more it's more tobacco and alcohol is more addictive to a human being than cannabis. What do you think?
My opponent seems to imply that tobacco and alcohol are legal because the government does not deem it harmful enough to be considered an offense. And this is the reason why these products are legal. However, no evidence has been presented in favor of this. I would like to argue that the reason why the government allows tobacco and alcohol to be legal is instead of because the substances are too ingrained in our history to be pragmatically outlawed, as evidenced by the way tobacco industry spends millions of dollars battling against anti-smoking campaigns.
Well, alcohol compared to cannabis is less damage. It is less harmful because research has also shown that cannabis not provide any permanent brain damage like most anti-cannabis groups use as scare stories. Sure, people who have smoked cannabis says they may be a little tired and have a sticky day, but there is nothing in the style of what a standard hangover can cause.
Okay, the difference between alcohol and cannabis is that there is good control at the alcohol market. In this case, we have the Systembolaget. The merchants will sell legally to adults, and they are not allowed to sell to children. Because of the fact that the drug dealers won't have mercy, they will do anything in their power to sell cannabis at any price, even at the price of thousands of human lives. If the drug dealers are not responsible, then who is?
Well, if cannabis is legalized and regulated in the same way as alcohol, this phenomenon will not occur.
Yes?
Can you repeat what you said?
This phenomenon will not occur.
The phenomena will not occur.
A cure.
Can you repeat that?
Cure.
No, but
If cannabis is legalized and regulated in the same way as alcohol, this phenomenon will not.
But cannabis is more difficult to to handle. It's more difficult to have strategies because it's more addictive than alcohol and cigarettes and tobacco, and that's why it's to regulate it will take more money from taxes. It will damage more teens who are going to be addicted to this drug when it comes to the market as a legal product. That's why we can't look at the same way we look at tobacco and alcohol. There are major differences between this.
But the tax money is.
wait, I have a statement here. You state that cannabis is more addictive than alcohol, but we have statistic here from Frihetsfronten that says, what's so funny? That says that cannabis